my biggest thing about right now, and this is from having listened to our current mayor, our current council, and a lot of other candidates, is there seems to be this desire to create jobs here for people that we hope will then move here. And my point being is, San Antonio essentially has a manufacturing class population. Bringing a lot of tech jobs here doesn't help the people who are already here. I want to attract the businesses that are going to bring that $25 to $40 an hour pay range. More warehousing, manufacturing. I have some ideas of what we can do with the airport that I think would be a huge economic boom to not only San Antonio, but to all of South Texas. And that's where, if you really want to integrate it, San Antonio right now, we're looking north, right? We're trying to mimic what goes on in Austin, and we're trying, from the tech standpoint and that. Well, there's 2.5 million people that live south of us, and you have Corpus Christi. So I would like to see San Antonio integrate itself more with the economies of the cities that are south of us and the people that are south of us, and become their Austin, right? As far as, be the regional center of economic power there. And so I think, as far as the people and bringing them in, offering jobs that are more to our population's skill set will benefit us more in the long run than bringing in jobs and then having to bring the people in, if that makes sense. I don't know if that really answers your question.
No, it does. It makes sense.
I think it was $2.5 billion to add a Terminal C.
Don't worry, it'll increase.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
Could you tell us about what your thoughts about the airport could be that you mentioned before?
I mean, we're just beating a dead horse with our current airport. If we do this Terminal C and you just look at the traffic situation at 410 and 281 as it is right now. I mean, you start bringing 300 people more an hour through that airport, and you got Lyft and cabs or whatnot coming through there. TxDOT is not going to move fast enough to redo those areas, but mainly you're going to destroy those neighborhoods like Crown Hill and I can't remember the one that's to the north of the airport, but you're going to destroy those neighborhoods if you do that. Right now, one thing about San Antonio is the cost of building something in this town varies greatly from the north side to the south side. And it's not so much the acquisition cost of real estate or anything like that. It's the difference between working in rock on the north side and working in dirt on the south side. While land is still available and moderately priced, and the airport is an enterprise fund, so the airport can issue its own debt, and I've heard an estimation of $6 or $7 billion. While the land is available and moderately priced, I personally think we should move our airport down to Southton Road and 410 area. There's plenty of land there. It's reasonably priced. It's not in rock, so it's easy, as far as the civil construction aspect of it. It's way cheaper than if you were to try to do it, somewhere going up towards New Braunfels, where you run the risk of having to deal with rock. One, that would create, it amazes me that everybody, those 2.5 million people I said that live south of here, they drive through the 7th largest city to get to the Austin airport to fly somewhere. It's mind-boggling, and that's why we can't keep any Fortune 50 or Fortune 500 companies in San Antonio. Even if they do, I spoke with someone with one of the few Fortune 50 companies we have here. Even with what they want to do to the airport right now, they're not gonna expand. It's not gonna move anybody else here. It'd be great for everybody that's wanting to go to Vegas. They'll have more direct flights and stuff, or maybe a direct flight to Philadelphia. But if you build that airport down there, you solve, in my opinion, 60 years of economic and poverty issues on that side of town. You will completely revitalize, and that's been my big issue right now with Ron especially, is they want to push for all this housing on the south side. That's all great, but that's all the south side is now, is housing. Where are these people supposed to work? And so you do something like that, plus there's a huge rail spur there at Southton Road. If it's done, and especially with Corpus, once they get that bridge fiasco fixed in Corpus and that port is able to expand, Corpus is going to become an economic powerhouse. Having that airport there, with what you can do just from regional freight. I mean, also the passenger. And, the current airport can be a hobby or be a love field. It doesn't have to go away. But if it costs $7 billion and the airport has to issue bonds or whatnot to do that, I mean, how do you really amortize $7 billion if it creates $7 billion a year in additional economic commerce for the area? As well as it revitalizes and uplifts an area that nobody's seemed to be able to find a way to do that up until now. So I would like to see something like that happen.
Don't know why anyone would want to go to Philadelphia though.
Well, I don't. I was actually shocked because I actually took a direct flight to Philadelphia one time, and it blew my mind that I was like, I can't get a direct flight to so many other places out of San Antonio, but Philadelphia. Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I know a company. I won't bring their name. There's a company that acquired a larger company here, and they had considered moving the headquarters here, which their headquarters is up in the Midwest. It is easier for them to have people fly into Detroit and drive an hour and a half to their campus than to move here and have people deal with our airport.